This morning on The Dish, a chef who's spent much of her life around the world of food. Born in Seattle, Angie Mar comes from a long line of food lovers and restaurateurs. Her legendary aunt, Ruby Chow, pioneered Chinese cuisine in Seattle. After training and working in some of New York's top kitchens, she landed at the iconic West Village restaurant, the Beatrice Inn.
In 2016, she bought the restaurant and made it her own, showcasing her love of live fire, dry aging techniques, and over-the-top presentations. Her visions has made it one of the city's most coveted reservations. Chef Angie Mar, welcome to The Dish. We don't have live fire, but we have a lovely table.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us what's here.
So I brought some things that are on the fall menu as well as in the upcoming cookbook. So you've got a little 60-day dry-aged prime rib, which we do only on Friday nights. A little mutton stroganoff, which is actually one of my favorites from my childhood. Some haricots verts, a plum tart, and a bit of clafouti for dessert.
Oh, and what is this little puppy?
This, so, is the most important part, obviously.
For some of us, yes.
Yes. La Parisienne. So a little bit of a champagne cocktail.
I find it so interesting that you started your career in the real estate business. How did you make that transition? Because I'm sure your parents are kind of like, no, sweetie.
Yeah. Well, you know, my parents my father grew up in the restaurant industry. And, you know, he actually grew up in that because of the Chinese Exclusionary Act. Right. So he actually didn't have a choice except for to go into the restaurant industry. And, you know, I think he worked hard and tirelessly all those years. And when I said that I was leaving my career in the corporate world, going into the restaurant industry, he was like, no, what are you doing? He's like,
why
no.
did you make that decision?
You know, I had been in the corporate world for about 12 years. And I just wasn't happy. I wanted to do something creative. So going back to that was really exciting for me.
I love this great quote from you. If I'm going to cook, I'm going to cook food that takes you out at your knees.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that too.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it's a philosophy that we definitely hold true at the Beatrice. Because what we always say is that, you know, everything great starts around the dinner table.
This is a restaurant that has like an 80-year history.
Right.
But when they approached you, and not always a great history, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
And when they approached you about being executive chef, initially you were...
I didn't want it.
You didn't?
Yeah.
Why
No,
not?
I didn't want it. You know, I was working at a really great restaurant at the time, and it had such a tumultuous history that I wasn't really sure that I wanted to do that. And I hadn't really made my name for myself yet. I was just kind of finding my way. And I called a very good friend of mine, Pat LaFreda, who is one of America's biggest butchers.
Yes, we've profiled him on this show.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And, you know, I called him and I said, you know, look, they want me to take this job, and I think it might be career suicide. And he said, you know what, it could be, but if you turn it around, it's going to make your career.
Wow. Wow. So you not only did you turn it around, in 3 short years, you went from being head chef to head honcho. You own the Beatrice Inn now.
Yeah, I bought it 2 years ago.
But you had doubts about buying it, too.
I did.
And you went back to Pat LaFreda.
I called Pat and I was like, what do I do? I was like, should I buy?
Ask Pat for lottery numbers next time.
I know, right? I know.
What was his advice this time?
You know, what he told me was everybody thought you were crazy for taking the job. So if you buy it, you're just doubling down on crazy. So you might as well do it.
As you sign the dish, if you could have this meal with anyone, past or present, who
I
would it be?
mean, aside from the three of you.
I think those are our first votes, by the way.
You know, my father.
Oh.
You know, he was such a huge inspiration for all the food and really the ethos of the restaurant itself and what it's become. So, yeah.
Chef Angie Mar, we so appreciate you being with us here
Thank you.
today. And for more on Angie Mar and The Dish, head to our website at cbsthismorning.com.